notice again, from a Jewish perspective, when we look at translations that favor one versus the other, let me turn to Exodus chapter 25 and drop down to verse 8. This is a passage that's probably reminiscent of what Paul is quoting. It may not be the exact passage that he quotes in 2 Corinthians. In fact, let me pull up here. Exodus 25:8, cross-reference-wise from 2 Corinthians 6:16, and they are to make a sanctuary for me so that I may dwell among them. So notice that Moshe is already speaking God's words. I will dwell among them. Make a sanctuary for me, God tells Israelites. Also in Exodus 29:5, then I will dwell among the Israelites and be their God. Look at Leviticus 26:12. I will walk among you and be your God, and you will be my people. So, and again, also in Ezekiel 37, my dwelling place will be with them. I will be their God, and they will be my people. So, what we're simply highlighting is that from an Old Testament perspective, it's not unusual for God to use language of dwelling among His people, because we think about the temple, the tabernacle, things like that. Well, of course, God's going to dwell among us, but many times as Christians, we're fond of thinking, well, in the Old Testament, God dwelt among His people, but in the New Testament, He dwells in His people. And that's the big difference, I've heard many preachers say. But that's the challenge. Not necessarily is that accurate. I think that God did dwell in His people in the Old Testament as well, but the truth is that it's only through His Son Messiah by the power of His Spirit. That's true. But let's look at this. Let me just single out just that one passage, because this is one of the more famous ones that Judaism wrestled with. God says, they are to make a sanctuary for me so that I may dwell among them. Let me turn to the Hebrew and the Greek for you a second. The English says, let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. In the Hebrew it says, Va'asu li mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham. And the words I want to bring out to you is this word shachanti, v'shachanti. The root word is these three letters, shachan, dwell. And this is a Hebrew word that connotes, that conjures up, that emphasizes the idea of neighborly dwelling, nearness, proximity to one another. Because there's another word that could have been used if you wanted to say that I will take up residency with you or something like that. But interestingly, the translators of the Septuagint, the Greek version of the Bible that was in existence a couple centuries prior to Messiah hitting the scene, the Bible that Paul would have been familiar with, it uses a Greek phrase here, off thesomai in human. I shall appear among you. This Greek word here, Aphthesomai, and there's our familiar word in, right? And then human, you, the pronoun. You shall make a sanctuary for me, and I shall appear among you. This is what this Greek phrase here refers to, as if I might not really be there, but it's going to look like I'm there. You'll see me. This could be in your mind, it could be in the spirit, it could just be with your eyes only. Like you see the glory of God. Are you really looking at God? Are you looking at the glory of God? You're looking at the light of God, but maybe not God Himself, because you can't see God. This is what this phrase in the Greek could be referring to. That's why the translators translate it as appear. It refers to something that kind of shows up in front of you. But notice what's missing is any reference to dwelling in you or something to that effect. Taking up residency within you. It simply talks about God kind of showing up so that we can see Him. So that's one thing we want to consider.